Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honorable Prime Minister, my colleagues in Cabinet, Honorable MPs, and citizens of our country, I rise today to address this August House on a matter of national consequence, the purpose, history, and renewed activation of Fiji's Tourism Action Group, an institution that has time and again stood between crisis and collapse for the industry that sustains the nation. Tourism is no peripheral contributor to our economy. It accounts for more than 40% of our GDP. It is the primary earner of the foreign exchange that pays for the goods, the fuel, the essential services that every Fijian depends upon. When tourism is strong, Fiji is strong. When tourism is threatened, it is the duty of governments and industry alike to respond not in panic, not in isolation, but in disciplined, coordinated unity. The Tourism Action Group is that coordination. And it is my purpose today to place on the parliamentary record its history, its mandate, and its significance to the future prosperity of every Fijian. Mr. Speaker, the Tourism Action Group was not born in a period of comfort. It was forged in one of the darkest chapters of modern history. When the political upheavals of '87 struck the country, tourism collapsed and the national economy contracted sharply. A little more than a decade later came May 2000 crisis, bringing immediate 30% decline in visitor arrivals. Over 7,000 workers in our tourism industry lost their livelihoods in a matter of months. The Reserve Bank projected an economic contraction of 13%. Investor confidence evaporated. Travel advisories were issued by our closest partner nations. Fiji's hard-won reputation as the jewel of the South Pacific was under existential threat. It was amid the crucible that the Tourism Action Group was established, a formal coalition of governments and the private sector convened to do what neither could do alone: coordinate a unified national response, drive recovery marketing, lobby for the removal of travel warnings, and reassure the world that Fiji remained open, safe, and worthy of its place on the global tourism stage. These efforts worked. Tourism arrivals increased by 42% in the decade that followed the 2000 crisis. TAG's role in the recovery is documented, recognized, and rightly honored. The group was activated in 2006 and again in 2020 when the global pandemic brought international travel to a standstill. Each time, TAG served as a mechanism through which Fiji's tourism industry spoke with a single, credible, and confident voice in the world, to the world. Honorable members, I want to be precise about what the Tourism Action Group is, because its design is its strength. TAG is not a permanent bureaucracy. It is an activation mechanism, a pre-arranged coalition of government agencies and industry leaders that is formally convened when conditions demand a coordinated response beyond what any single institution can provide. Its membership encompasses Tourism Fiji, Fiji Airways, the Fiji Hotel and Tourism Association, inbound tour operators, the Ministry of Tourism and Civil Aviation, the Ministry of Finance, and other arms of government as circumstances require. Its power lies in three things: speed, unity, and reach. When TAG convenes, decisions are made quickly. When TAG speaks, it speaks for the whole industry. And when TAG acts, it acts across every level of the tourism value chain, from the airline seat to the hotel room to the village homestay. The group operates as both an advisory body and a planning body. In its advisory capacity, it provides government with ground-level intelligence from industry operators where bookings are softening, which shows markets are hesitating, and trade partners need to hear. In its planning capacity, it designs and executes coordinated responses, reassurance campaigns, trade partner communications, promotional offensives in key markets, and forward strategies to capture demand before competitor destinations can do so. This dual function, advising and acting, is what makes TAG irreplaceable. Government alone cannot move at market speed. Industry alone cannot carry the sovereign credibility of government. Together, they can. Mr. Speaker, on the 19th of March this year, the Tourism CEO, Dr. Boris Pant, formally reactivated the Tourism Action Group. The trigger was the intensifying conflict in the Middle East and its cascading effects on global aviation, fuel costs, and travel confidence. I want to be transparent with this House about the nature of the threats. It is not a domestic crisis. Our visit numbers remain strong. March 29 recorded 71,765 arrivals, a record for that month, representing a 12.4% increase over the same period last year. Our full year 2025 result of 986,367 visitor arrivals is the highest in Fiji's history. Visitor earnings reached $2.81 billion last year, up from $0.254 billion in 2024. These are numbers we should be proud of. But strength today does not guarantee security tomorrow. The Middle East conflict has disrupted aviation routes. Fuel costs are rising. Destinations across Southeast Asia, which have absorbed booking disruptions of their own, are preparing aggressively for recovery campaigns targeted directly at Australian and New Zealand travelers who form the backbone of our visitor mix. If we do not act now, while our position is strong, we risk ceding ground we have worked years to earn. TAG was reactivated precisely because this is the moment for proactive positioning, not reactive recovery. Its immediate mandate is to maintain confidence in existing bookings across the April to October 26 period, a primary season, and to begin forward planning for October 2026 through to April 2027, ensuring that Fiji enters the next peak season with momentum, not uncertainty. The group is chaired, as it has been in previous activations, by Mr. Domain Gounder of Tour Managers Group, whose long experience in leading TAG through the 2000 and 2006 crisis makes him uniquely placed for this responsibility. I'm grateful for his continued leadership and the industry's wholehearted response to this reactivation. Honorable members, let me speak plainly about why this matters at the level of national economic survival. Tourism is now more than 40% of Fiji's GDP. It is the economic lifeline of this country. Foreign exchange earnings from tourism are not a luxury. They are the mechanism by which we pay for imports, fund infrastructure, and serve the needs of our people. When visa numbers decline, foreign exchange tightens, the current accounts weakens, and the pressure on the national budget intensifies. The global travel environment is simultaneously more competitive and more fragile than any point in recent memory. Competitor destinations are not standing still. They invest in marketing, upgrading infrastructure, and quoting the same source markets that Fiji depends upon. Our tourism Fiji target of 1.25 million visitors and $4 billion in total visitors spent by 2027 is ambitious, but it is achievable. What it requires is exactly what TAG is designed to deliver: unified, strategic, well-resourced action at moments when the market needs reassurance. The alternative, fragmented responses, mixed messages, or silence is a gift to competitors and a cost our economy cannot afford. Mr. Speaker, I wish to place before this House a broader reflection on TAG's role, not merely as a crisis instrument, but as a model for the kind of public-private partnership that Fiji's tourism industry requires as it matures. We're entering, as Dr. Pan described at the Fiji Tourism Exchange last month, a period of stabilization following the post-pandemic surge. This is not a period for complacency. It is a period for disciplined, intentional growth, and that requires structures of coordination that are not simply switched on during emergencies, but that maintain the relationships, the intelligence sharing, and the strategic alignment that make rapid response possible when it is needed. I want to see TAG involved. I want to see its advisory function deepened so that government has a standing channel for ground-level market intelligence from industry. I want to see its planning capacity expanded so that Fiji does not merely react to the global environment, but shapes its own position within it. And I want to see its membership broadened so that the voices of small operators, community-based tourism providers, and regional industry stakeholders beyond the main centers are represented in its deliberations. The benefits of tourism must reach beyond our well-known resort corridors. Every province in this nation has a stake in this industry, and the work of TAG must speak to that broader ownership. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Tourism Action Group is not a relic of past crises. It is a living institution, proven over more than 2 decades, that embodies the partnership between government and industry upon which Fiji's future depends. Its reactivation this year is a mark of responsibility and not alarm. It signals to our trade partners, our source markets, and our own industry that Fiji takes its obligations seriously. That when the global environment shifts, we do not sit idle, we do not panic, and we do not wait. We act, we coordinate, we lead. Let the records of this parliament reflect that Fiji's coalition government stands firmly behind the work of the Tourism Action Group, behind the industry it represents, and behind the hundreds of thousands of Fijians whose livelihoods depend on our collective success in welcoming the world to these islands. Mr. Speaker.
I thank the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Gavoka.